Welcome, people, back to another episode. This is Sports and Superheroes, episode 3. I'm one of your hosts, Gershon, with my co host.
Marcus, what's up, people? Nice talking to you guys again.
Yes, we're back with another episode. So, if you're new here, which I'm assuming you are, because this is episode 3, so you got to be new. We didn't have that many episodes. We're a podcast where we talk about sports and superhero topics, news of the week. We might dive into other stuff too, pop culture stuff. We'll see where we go. We see where it takes us. So sit back, relax, have fun with us for hopefully no more than an hour. We're trying to keep these condensed, but sometimes you get on a topic, you have fun, so we get to talking. But thank y'all for
Facts.
coming through. This is true. You get into it.
Well,
You have conversations.
sometimes I have questions that that Sammy answers for me because I don't be knowing. So
Vice versa. He be Marcus know more sports stuff than me, so I'll be asking him questions. You can't. I can't count the number of times I'll be sending him texts like, "Hey, is this traveling? This look like traveling. What is this?" And then it was a zero step or gather step. I'll be asking questions. So
yeah,
so you just listening to two guys have a conversation sometimes.
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys could though, go ahead and follow us on our socials. Everything is sports and superheroes. The link tree is down below. Go ahead, follow us: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I said YouTube, TikTok, which is kind of back. We might even talk about that. I'm on. I think I made a Snapchat. I don't know. We do stuff, but you can also find this podcast on Spotify. So listen to us there. We're working on getting it on Apple Podcasts and all other places you get your podcast. But with that all out the
Also,
way, go ahead, Marcus.
before don't mean to cut you off, brother. But also, we have a well, I still call it Twitter, but we have an X
Oh yeah,
page,
we have an X.
and and the link is in the description on our X page.
Yep,
So
yep.
we are sports and superheroes on X. I always call it Twitter, man. I never call it
I
X.
understand.
Uh,
I was never big on Twitter, so it's not an issue for me to call it X. I
yeah,
didn't use it that much. But if you
right.
see some, if we answer you on Twitter, it's most likely Marcus. I'm still trying to
Yeah,
learn how to use Twitter because I never really used it. So I'm
yeah,
still learning the ins and outs since we doing this, and I'm gonna use it more. But
yeah,
I'm usually on Instagram more or TikTok. So
yeah.
that's where you usually find me on there.
The,
Uh,
the the whole the whole X Twitter thing. It's like because I'm from Chicago. It's like calling the Sears Tower the Willis Tower. No one from Chicago calls it the Willis Tower. It's the
yes.
Sears Tower. That's the name. That's what we always call it, and that's how I feel about Twitter X. I don't call it X. It's Twitter, and when I say Twitter, people usually know what I'm talking about. So that
Understandable.
that's just my mini rant. I'm done now.
uh, so also, guys, if y'all got questions, sports questions, superhero questions, not saying we experts, not saying we know all about it, but we would love to hear y'all ask us those questions, give us feedbacks, and we would gladly start answering those at like the end of the pod. So just let us know, drop them in there. Uh, we will have a email for you guys to send questions to, and maybe down the road we'll have a number you guys can call. You can do voicemails too down the road if we keep going. So hopefully we can. So that's something to look forward to in the future. But without further ado, guys, let's hit our first superhero topic of the night. And if you're a fan of Invincible, well, get ready because it's coming back. They finally dropped the release dates for season 3 episodes, when they're coming out, how long, how many episodes they have. They even showed Mark in his second to third costume, I think. Um, it's the black and blue costume. He kind of changes after, I'm not gonna say stuff. I'm gonna try to not spoil it if you haven't seen season 1 through 2. Um, but it's a costume he changes into because of certain incidents and things that happen. But they released the episodes. There's gonna be 8 episodes. But unlike last season where they did 4 episodes and then went away for like months and then came back with the last four. They're not doing this year. Thank God, because that was stupid. That was really stupid. It kind of messed up the seasons for people. Like people still watched it, but I don't think it got a hold of people as much as it would if they would just showed the whole thing. So this season, of course, they're doing their first 3 episodes on. They're releasing those right away on February 6th. You can see those first 3 episodes of season 3, and then they're gonna do one every week after that, one a week, and it's gonna end March 13th. Should be their last episode of season 3. Invincible has been an incredible show. It has been an incredible show. I love it. It's gory but fun, good storytelling. I actually went and started reading Invincible comic book, which this show is based off of. I only read like 5 to 6 comic books so far, and then I put it down because life happens sometimes. But I do mean to get back to it. It's not really a hard read, but it shows you where they got the nuts and bolts for the show and everything. And then you can see the changes they made throughout the show. So super excited for Invincible season 3 to come out. I think they say this is supposed to be a really amazing arc in this 3rd season. There's going to be a lot more crazy things. So I'm super excited to watch it. I like when it first came out, I was on the show. That first season is amazing. It's amazing. You definitely need to check it out if you haven't watched the first season of Invincible. But yeah, super excited for it to come out this February 6th. I definitely will be watching it. Let us know if you want me to try to do like reviews of episodes. If I got time, I might do that. Just let me know in the comments and whatnot. Or even we can do a little watch along if that's possible. I don't know if that's possible, but we can try to work something out. We're trying to slowly branch out as we go along with this.
And quick question: what streaming platform is that on?
See, this is why I have a co-host, because I totally forgot to tell you guys. It's on Amazon Prime, so it's on Prime. That's where you will watch it. Yeah, that was one of the reasons I got Prime back in the day when this first came out, because they were like, this show, The Boys, and there was another show that wasn't as good, but Prime has made some other good shows since then. So one of the reasons why I got it, but it's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it on Prime, streaming on Prime. So if you got Amazon, which I get it, some people don't want to give Bezos their money. You're going to spend money on something he's getting you, so you might as well spend it on something you like. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. Marcus, you haven't seen any of this, have you?
I have not.
Okay,
but I do have Prime, so maybe I'll check out episode. But yeah, see, like right now, it's difficult for me to watch.
It's basketball season. I understand.
Right, it's basketball. I got basketball every night, and then I got my other like 4 shows I watch during the week. So yeah, and then but football is gonna be ended soon, so maybe I can find time to start watching some other shows. So yeah.
Okay. Well, you got plenty of time because it's gonna be there regardless. It's a good show, so they're not taking it off the platform anytime soon. So you got plenty of time to catch up. And the things you look at online won't give you spoilers on stuff, anything like that. So you be good. You might hear spoilers for me, but you know how that is. Sometimes you gotta hear some shit and just know what's going on.
oh yeah. It's back when I was watching. I need to get back. Back when I was consistently watching The Shy, I knew on Sundays I had to stay off of Twitter.
Yep.
If I didn't watch the episode right away, because then it'll be spoiler alert. Yeah. Or even now, like with Abbott Elementary, I know if I don't watch it the day of, I have to avoid.
Yeah.
At all costs. So
I see something on Twitter about the latest episode before I even watched it. I was like, oh, well, I guess it's a new episode. I gotta go watch it. Shut this down. So yeah, that's a good show too. That's a good show. That's a real good show.
Mhm.
Very good show. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, but that is the first superhero topic of the night. Let me know if you guys are excited for season 3 of Invincible. Are you trying to catch up? Did you watch the Oh, there was like a it wasn't a season, it was like a snapshot of one of the characters. They gave her went more into her backstory, which was really good. Let me know if you guys saw that. Because it was pretty good too. But definitely a good show, definitely worth checking out.
All right. So, leading into our first sports topic here, I kind of teased this the last episode about Chad Ochocinco. I said I might
Yes.
have a story, so I did some looking around, and here we go. So, so first off, I got started with this to kind of give us a little backstory. So Chad Ochocinco is dating this woman, Sherelle Rosado, and apparently they're having some issues in their relationship right now because uh, I think she went through it. Nope, I don't think she went through his phone and saw that he was texting other women. So,
Mm.
and that part is important to the story. So, so after that, Chad Ochocinco's ex Sherelle Rosado inked a podcast deal with Club Shay Shay Media called Humble Baddies. For those of you who don't know, Club Shay Shay Media, that's Shannon Sharp's company, and Chad and Shannon Sharp does
Yeah,
a
they got a
podcast
show,
together
right?
called
Yeah.
the Nightcap.
Okay,
So,
okay. That's a crazy. I didn't know
so
that that was the name of the
right,
podcast.
right. So just give it a little backstory. So when it was announced on Twitter that Sherelle got this podcast, Chad responded with a tweet saying, "So nobody was going to run this by me first to see if I was okay with this." And then
Yeah,
he
that's
said,
wild.
right. Then he said, "Y'all got me. Got, are we cussing? I don't.
We
Okay.
trying not to cuss too much, but I say we 10 minutes in. So if you want to drop the
Okay.
f bomb, cool. YouTube be trying to if we ever get to the point of monetization, you gotta wait 10 minutes
Okay.
before you start cussing.
Also, side note, I'm sorry for all the cursing I did last week. My bad. But anyway, uh, quoted from Chad. He said,
Don't
"Y'all,
worry, I edit
y'all
most
got
of that out.
my bad." He said, "Y'all got me fucked up. I'll do my own damn podcast." So then after that, so after that, of course, fans was going crazy. People in the
Yeah,
chat, in the comments like, "Oh, Chad and Shannon's having issues. They about to break up. Yada yada yada." You know how the internet is. Um,
yeah.
so at the start
Internet be
of
internet.
their at the start of their next podcast episode, the nightcap, they addressed the issue on their podcast, the nightcap, and
Okay.
like it started off serious. Chad appeared to be mad about the situation. Like he appeared to be like still mad about it. So
Mm.
Chad, so him and Shannon is talking. Then Chad said, "When she leaves me, she leaves us." So what I'm saying, like, Shannon, how you gonna do a deal with her? She left me, so what you mean?
Exactly.
Um, and then Shannon was like, "But Chad, I already paid her." He was like, "You already paid her?" He was like, "How much you paid her? I'll match it. I'll give all that back."
He
So
said
they
we
going
not
back,
mixing business with pleasure.
right. So they went back and forth for a little bit, and then later Sherelle popped in the screen with Chad. And then they all laugh. And then Chad admitted that he was trolling on Twitter with those tweets and said that he supports Sherelle's show and he is the biggest supporter of the show.
Mm.
So it was a great marketing scheme.
Yeah.
They put it out. Chad act like he was mad.
Okay.
to get more eyes, more people talking about it, and it
True.
worked. So shout out to them. They, shout out to Chad, Shannon, and Sherelle. So
It
yeah,
is always hard to launch a show or a new podcast. So this is something to help it get a little feet in the ground, move a little bit. So I can see that. I can see that. Okay.
should we start some controversy and get something? I don't know what we'll do though, because we not famous.
We not famous. We any controversy we start, we might get arrested for, and
All right,
that ain't gonna help. That really is. It's hard to record in prison.
all right.
It's not
Well,
a go-to move.
hey, we might get arrested, or our relationship for our significant others will be over. So
Yeah,
I don't I don't want to know what controversy we can really start.
yeah, we don't need that.
Nah,
Yeah, I mean, the most controversial thing we can do is just do hot takes on sports and superheroes. Say some
yeah.
wild stuff like Batman could never beat uh Nightwing or something, some crazy.
I mean, I have said some crazy like that. I was talking to Mike. I was like, man, Batman ain't ish. Spider Man will f him up, and you should have seen the look that he gave me.
I
You're
mean,
like,
it's
well,
hard. Batman is beating a lot of people, but there's always caveats. Batman gets prep time, or Batman's it's not a fight to the death, so the other hero won't kill Batman, but Batman will kill if he needs to.
yeah,
So it's always a lot of caveats to it, and I'm like, Spider-Man definitely could beat Batman. He's got better reflexes, stronger
oh, oh,
spider sense. I'm
oh,
sorry.
you should tell me this. I
I'm
can't call this
sorry.
guy. Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, oh.
Only thing, only thing is this prep time thing, and it's like, okay, if they're just meeting out in the wild, Spider-Man all day. If they meet out in the wild, if they got prep time, um, Spider-Man still is very smart. Spider-Man is very
Mhm,
smart, has years of combat experience, just like Batman. Um, and I mean, Batman is a master of strategy. I give you that. But Spider-Man's good at strategy too, especially on the fly. So it's hard. It's really hard. And Spider-Man, a lot of people don't know how strong Spider-Man really is because he pulls his punches. He doesn't use
mhm.
his full strength. So it's hard to fight somebody when they're already holding back. If they let go, it could be a massacre. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So we're going down since we're going down this rabbit hole right now. So really, Spider Man. Now, don't get mad at me when I say this, but Spider Man, his only real power is that he can shoot webs from his hands, like from his suit,
So his
right?
power, he created web shooters. So
Right.
there's certain Spider-Mans have created web shooters. Some from the movies have organic web in them. So
Okay.
Spider-Man's powers is super strength, agility. He can stick to walls. He
Mhm.
has he has spider sense. So he has kind of like danger sense to know when he's about to get hurt. Um,
Okay.
and only a few people can evade that.
Yeah.
Batman wouldn't be one of those people that could evade it, I don't think, unless
Right.
he did
So
some crazy stuff.
okay, the reason why I asked that because like these base basically I was gonna say they both two regular dudes, like Spider Man and
Yeah,
Batman.
Spider Man is not a regular dude. He actually has power.
But he has super strength. Okay, his spider
Yeah,
senses. Yeah.
spider
All right.
sense, and he has a little bit of a healing factor. It's nowhere near as Wolverine's, but he has a little bit of healing factor, and he's more durable. He can take hits better. He's not bulletproof, but he can take
All right.
hits.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned Wolverine. Okay, because what was the first episode? It was I got to talking about damn it, what's that movie? Wolverine and
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Deadpool. So
Yeah.
okay, going back to that movie, there was a part I was confused because like it's Wolverine. Wolverine has healing powers. Wolverine's not supposed to die.
Yeah.
So how like how do they kill Wolverine? Or
So
how like this don't make
spoilers
sense?
and possible mis information. So in some comic books, Wolverine's healing factor gets taken from him
Hmm.
through either science or through just some shows make it like stress where he's stressed out, so his healing factors, his human ability, like doesn't work. Like that's
Okay.
his human his mutant powers is to heal.
Okay.
Is the heal and it's super senses. So like he can smell, hear, his senses are heightened like an animal. Um the claws are actually a science because of science. Somebody put that into his body. So that's not even his human, his mutant ability. He was
Yeah.
that was put in his body. He does
Okay.
have bone claws in some instances in the comics, and some he doesn't. So that's a here and miss thing. He has bone claws sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't. Um, his healing factor is incredible because he's consistently healing all the time right now because he has that adamantium that is poisonous. So
Uh-huh.
his healing factor is always working because that metal is in his body and it's not killing him.
Okay.
So his healing factor is kind of hindered because of that too. So he should be able to heal a lot faster than he normally can. He still can heal pretty fast, but with the adamantium, he's consistently healing. Just like Wade, his healing factor is consistently keeping the cancer away from him because he's dying from cancer. And
Hmm.
his body's consistently healing him from cancer. So him and Wolverine have the same like healing factor, crazy off the charts healing factor. Can hear from anything, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I still think Spider-Man would beat Batman.
Thank you for that. I'm going back to that guy
Still
with
think
that
Spider-Man could
information.
beat Batman.
Because
Um,
boy, you look at me like I was crazy. Yeah, I was trolling. I was just talking because I really don't really know. But now that you confirmed it, yeah. Thank you,
I
sir.
think.
Thank you.
And it doesn't
Appreciate
have any effect that Spider-Man's my number one, Batman's my second favorite hero, and then Black Panther. But I still think Spider-Man could beat Batman. And I think Black Panther could beat Batman too. Because I think
it.
Black
Okay.
Panther is just as smart as Batman and a strategist just like Batman, but he
Hmm.
has enhanced strength, enhanced agility, and a couple other things that I don't think Batman could handle with him.
Yeah.
Like he knows just as many martial arts as Batman, I believe, and he studied science just as much as Batman has. He has a
Right.
crazy high intellect, and then he has a suit, which gives him extra abilities too. So
Yeah.
that's just
I
me.
mean, for Batman, I just like, hey, yo, I know Martha. My mom's name is Martha, and
Yeah, that was
he won't be
horrible.
able to,
So many
he won't be
people
able to do
hated
anything. He won't be able to do anything. So
that.
yeah.
So many people hated that. Oh, that's a terrible, terrible thing. Terrible. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, so bad.
Sorry for opening up old wounds.
It is a big wound. It's a big wound. Oh,
Yeah.
but go ahead, continue with your sports story.
Oh no, I was done with that one.
Oh, you was okay.
Yeah, we just segue into
Oh yeah, we did just
superheroes.
start going this stuff. I think that is a smart thing to do to try to get eyes on the show that way with a little bit of controversy that is easily cleared up with no issue and doesn't
Right,
affect the show. That's smart.
right,
That's smart. I can't
right.
knock them for that. And I can see
See,
them building out their network. That's what you do. Build out your network.
right. That's just understanding the internet and how the internet reacts to things.
Very
We'll
true.
put this out there. We know they gonna fall for it, and Shannon himself has I don't understand it, but Shannon himself has quite a bit of people that don't like him for whatever reasons it may
Yeah,
be.
I
So
know
it's
people
like,
be hating his country accent and the way he talk. I'm like, that's just the way he
uh,
talks. Move past
right,
it.
he's from the South. I can't. I I want to say Miss. Don't quote me on this. I want to say Mississippi, but I'm not sure.
I would
But yeah,
100% not know.
he's definitely from the South.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way he talks. Like, are you mad because a guy that talks like that is on live TV or sports and talking like that? Is that what you're upset? He has experience doing being in that field because he played. That's one of the reasons, and he's entertaining. He still, even with the way he talks, he still articulates himself very well and gives you insight on a game that other people would never get or have. It gives you a different perspective. So be okay with that. Like,
Uh, Let's see. Well, here's something I didn't know about Shannon Sharp. He was born in Chicago.
oh,
I did not know that he was born in Chicago. He went to high school in Glenville, Georgia, and he went to Savannah State for college.
okay.
Yeah, but I did not know he was born in Chicago. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he it says he grew up in Glenville, Georgia. So I'm not sure when he moved to Glenville, but I'm guessing probably when he was young. Born in Chicago, but moved down. Family, his parents moved him down to Georgia. So yeah, fun fact.
Okay. See, the more you know, people, the more you know. So leave Shannon Sharp alone. I'm just playing. I don't care what y'all do. But so on another topic, so you do know Peacemaker season 2 is coming. They are working on it. We got some information of what's going on with Peacemaker season 2 from John Cena himself. John Cena told us that the new intro song is something he very much is happy with. If you didn't know, Peacemaker season 1 has this crazy, crazy fun intro song where the cast dance to. Oh, I just blanked on the song. It's like, do you wanna, do you wanna, do you wanna, do some old rock song, but it's crazy, it's fun, it's hilarious, and they do this dance to it every like it was one of the only intros that I haven't skipped in a long time. I watch it all the way through, and they do this choreographed dance of all the characters on it, and it's hilarious. It's funny. He says season two's intro song is very good, just as funny, and supposed to be something you're gonna remember for years to come. So I'm super excited to see that. Peacemaker season 1 was a decent show. It was one of the good things that DC did. DC put out a lot of shows and movies from the last like 6, 7 years, and the new DC is trying to replicate that to an extent, but some of the old DC stuff is still getting pushed over, and this is one of the shows that is getting pushed over to the new DC Peacemaker, which James Gunn kind of wrote the first. I think he wrote the first 2, 3 episodes and executive produced the show, and he really likes John Cena, so he kind of kept that going in his new DC. So I'm really interested to see what this show does in season 2. I like John Cena. John Cena's funny. He's hilarious. He did his whole action thing for a good long time, but then he realized his bread and butter was more in comedy. So he did a slash action comedy thing, and it took him off. He just started going up. So he's hilarious. And there's what is it? Trainwreck, I think it is. I think it's Trainwreck. And then there's another like teen comedy. It's like what is the name of that? Something where his daughter's talking about having sex on prom, and he's trying to stop him with 2 other parents. It's like
Oh,
some I forget
I,
the name of, but that was funny too.
yeah.
That was funny too, and he's hilarious in Vacation Friends. The first Vacation Friends, he's funny in. dude with the glasses. He from Yo City, Little Rail. He's
Oh, okay.
funny in Vacation Friends. The sequel I didn't watch. There's a Vacation Friends 2. I don't know if that one's good. He's funny in Ricky Snedecky. He's hilarious in that. That if you, it's a funny movie, but it's really raunchy. If you do go watch it, that's on Prime. Go check that out. That's hilarious. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this new intro for Peacemaker season 2 is going to be. Um, I think I'm hoping this is just as good as the first one, and hopefully the second season is good too. But only time will tell with that. We'll see. Um, I don't know. You might like season 1 of Peacemaker, and you don't really need to know that character too much to get into it. I don't think you need to know that character too much to get into it.
Yeah.
I think you can just dive into it. I don't know. It's weird. It's fun, and there's action, so it's not bad. It gets a lot weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. It gets a lot weird. Yeah, it gets a lot weird. Never mind, you might not like it. Because I'm replaying some of the scenes and I'm like, yeah, that was weird. That was weird for
Yeah.
me. And I'm a fan of this stuff, and that was weird for me. So that might be a little weird for you.
Um, just a side note, that movie you're talking about where John Cena is stopping his child from losing her virginity. That movie is called Blockers.
Blockers. I wanted to say
Yeah.
cock blockers, but I was like, I don't think it's
Well,
cock blockers.
I well, and well,
I think it's just blockers. I think it
it's
is.
called Blockers, but one of the pictures I'm looking at does have a chicken in the
Yeah.
background above the blockers, but the original movie poster, no, there is a chicken in front of the word blockers. So
Yeah. So I think it's just blockers. They emphasize the word cock blockers, but that's a
right,
hilarious movie too. Go check that out.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Mm.
Oh. Uh, but yeah, definitely let me know. Do you guys watch the first season of Peacemaker? Did you like the intro? Did you laugh? Did you skip it? That's the real biggest question. Did you skip it? Did you skip the intro, or did you listen to it the whole way through every time? I listen every time. Every time. That's when you know an intro is good. There's a lot of anime intros I be skipping. Some of them I let play through because they good. Let me know what y'all did. Hit us in the comments down below, or write us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Let us know what y'all do. Did y'all skip it? Did y'all let it play?
All right. So the next sports topic, and I'm going to give you guys a backstory of how we got here now. Right now, Notre Dame and Ohio State is playing for the National College Football Championship. So I'm not gonna go all the way back to the beginning of the playoffs. This year was the first year in college football where 12 teams were in a college football playoffs. So there still needs to be some tweaks because like those early games and early rounds were a bunch of blowouts. Um, but as you got closer to the final teams, the games got better. Um, so I'll start with I'll call it the Final Four. So Penn State had played Notre Dame, and to go and the winner of that game, got to advance to the national championship game. Um, the final score of that game was 27-24 with Notre Dame winning. That game started out pretty slow. The score at halftime was only 10-3, Penn State winning. Um, and then really no really good action didn't happen until the end of the game. Penn State's Drew Aller threw an interception with 33 seconds to go in the game. Uh, Drew, yeah, Notre Dame got the ball back down the field, kicked the 41-yard field goal with 7 seconds left in the game to
Mm.
win and to advance to the national championship game. And then on the other side, you had Ohio State played Texas. That game was kind of slow too. At the half, it was 14-7. And then also in this game, it got really exciting at the end of that game. Um, Texas was driving down the field. It looked like they was going to score to take the lead, but Ohio State defense stopped Texas near the goal line with less than 3 minutes to go with a fumble return with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game, giving Ohio State a 28-14 win over Texas. So now Ohio State and Notre Dame is playing right now for the national championship. It was looking like it was going to be a runaway game. Ohio State had got out to a 3-touchdown lead. They was up by 21 because they was up by like 14 going to halftime, and then they got the ball back beginning of the second half, and they scored right away. And it looked like it was going to be a blowout, easy win for Ohio State. But now, in the fourth quarter, with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game, Ohio State is only up by 8 points.
Mm.
Ohio State, there was one play, Ohio State's running back, he juked a bunch of people, and then towards the end of the play, a Notre Dame player came behind and punched the ball out of his hands, and he fumbled. So, yeah, right now the score is 31-23 with 3:17 left in the game. Ohio State has the ball on the 40-yard line.
Mm.
On their 40-yard line, so they pushing down the field, trying to kill some clock, win this game. Notre Dame still has all 3 of their timeouts left. So, I will give you a update of what happens of this game when it's over, when it's completed. But yeah, that's what I got for sports right now.
Mm. That's crazy. Notre Dame, they're playing real good football this year here.
Yeah, they're 14-1.
Oh, wow.
Their only loss, which I'm not a fan of Notre Dame, they lost earlier in the season to Northern Illinois. That is not a team that you would expect to beat Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is a powerhouse in college football, and Northern Illinois is not. So, but yeah, ever since then they've been playing really well. I will say the only thing that would make me somewhat cheer for Notre Dame is their coach, Marcus Freeman. He's a young black man coaching there. So that makes me proud and happy. I like to see him have success, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of Notre Dame. I'm not a fan of Ohio State either. But if I had to pick a team, I would pick Ohio State just because they're in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm really not a fan of neither one of these teams.
Okay. So, like with the college playoff system, I know a lot of people are upset that certain teams made it to a certain point, even
Yeah.
though they had lost to other teams that didn't make it to a certain point. It's
Yeah.
not as like it's not like the NFL easily understandable like why this team made it, why this team didn't make it and stuff. It's a lot more
Yeah.
complicated, right?
Yes, because there's a lot more teams.
Okay.
And then it's like, and also to a certain degree and extent, it depends who you talk to. You have powerhouse schools
Mm-hmm.
who has great fan base, who that fan base will travel.
Mm-hmm.
So like some people felt like Alabama should have been in playoffs over like Boise State, because Boise State is a smaller school in a smaller conference.
Mm-hmm.
But Boise State had a good record, and they didn't have. I don't think they didn't have as many losses as Alabama
Okay.
because, of course, Boise State had what's the running back name that was in Heisman?
Ashton
Ashton
Genty.
Genty, right? A really good running back, put up
Mm,
record numbers. But some people felt like Alabama should have been in there. Some people felt like Miami should have been in there, but Miami kind of like dud it out towards the end of the season. So, like I said, this is the first year where they actually had 12 teams in the playoffs. So they go come back after the season. They go come back to the table and try to figure it out.
okay. Yeah, like didn't who Texas lose against?
Texas lost to Ohio State.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Also, Texas, their game before they played Ohio State, they played Arizona State, and that was a really, really good game. If my memory serves me correctly, they went into double overtime, and I can't remember the running back's name from Arizona State, but he made some big plays in that game against Texas and kept Arizona State in that game. I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, that was a really good game. And also, as we speak, Ohio State just threw a deep pass downfield there in the red zone with the ball with 2 minutes left in the game. So it looks like Ohio State's going to hold on to be the national champions, but we'll see.
Okay. Okay. Well, we will let you guys know later on in the podcast who wins that game as we continue going. Um, so, news on Marvel front: the Russo brothers, who directed Endgame, I believe they were directed Civil War. No, not Civil War, Infinity War. But I think they directed Civil War too. I'm gonna look it up and try to stall for time at the same time. I think they directed Civil War. Well, they're going to be directing Doomsday, um, Avengers Doomsday, which which some of you might know was changed from Kang Dynasty to Avengers Doomsday since they decided not to continue with what is his name? Um I'm blanking on his name. The actor who got in trouble, um who was in Kang Dynasty. He played Kang. Uh, mm, um, uh, Jonathan Majors. There we go.
Jonathan, oh,
So
okay. I didn't know if
Jonathan
that's who was
Majors, yeah, Jonathan Majors was Kane in the MCU. I think he did a great job as Kane. He played different types of Kanes too, so that was cool. They're not continuing with that storyline, so they changed it to Doomsday, bringing Doctor Doom. And if you don't know, Tony Stark is going to be playing. Well, not Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doom from another um, universe or another dimension. I think they're still doing multi dimension stuff. So he's going to be a. I think he's going to be Doom or Doctor Doom, but a different version of him. Um, so they're directing that movie. They're also, I think they're, I don't know if they're directing Secret Wars too, Avengers Secret Wars, but I know they're directing Avengers Doom. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic. So they have scrapped the script that was supposed to be going for Avengers Doom, which was a script which was technically for Avengers King Dynasty. Since they weren't going that direction, they changed the script. They scrapped the script and they're doing a whole new script. Um, I have trust in the Russo brothers. Endgame was amazing. Um, uh, Infinity War was amazing. No, they did Civil War. They did do Civil War, Captain America, Civil War, and they did Captain America, Winter Soldier. Four of these movies that they did are amazing for the MCU. So I think we're in good hands with them 100%. It is going to be interesting to see what they do with this movie and if they can right the ship of Marvel. I think the last couple Marvel properties have been kind of a lot more hit and miss and a lot of misses than hits. So hopefully this can bring them back. They're bringing back three powerhouses. They're bringing back the Russo brothers and they're bringing back Robbie Downey Jr. There's rumors that they're also bringing I forget his name, Chris Evans. Chris Evans is supposedly rumored to be in this Doomsday movie, along with a whole bunch of other actors. There's going to be a lot of the Marvel actors in this movie because it's going to be a huge multiverse type of movie too. So you're going to see different characters, maybe variations of characters. There's definitely supposed to be a variation of uh, Chris Evans Captain America where he's a bad guy, I believe. I say that weirdly. I know I said that weirdly, but in the comics, if you haven't read it, he is a Hydra agent in one of the comic books. I don't remember how that storyline ended, but he was a Hydra agent, and he had been a Hydra agent for a while. I don't know if it was a different dimension thing or a clone thing or something. I forgot, but they might be doing something like that in the Doomsday movie. So only time will tell how the Russo brothers do it. Unfortunately, the person that made the original script, which was for King Dynasty and now for Doctor Doom, he was the guy that created the Loki show. So the creator of the Loki show, which okay show. Honestly, I know people. I had this take on the Loki show, so I'm gonna throw this take out. Season one of the Loki show was just a watered down version of Loki's arc throughout the movies. Literally, that's all it was to me. It was just an arc of him being a bad guy, going to the middle, trying to be a good guy, and then eventually being a kind of an anti superhero, then becoming just a hero. That's what it felt like. That whole series, it gave us a couple new characters, cool, and showed us the multiverse and different variants and stuff like that, which was cool. But I think they could have did that with a different character and not gave that to Loki. But he was our window into it, I guess. Whatever. Season two was a lot better. I like season two a lot more than I like season one, but I think season one is not that great. But season two is a lot better. That's all I say without that. I know I'm probably gonna get some hate of that because a lot of people like that first season of Loki. I I don't get how they don't see that. It's just a rehash of his movie history and how he was bad, semi good, and then became a hero. That's all it feels like. But yeah, that's how I felt. Uh, but yeah, so we are getting Doomsday is coming. Russo brothers are working on it, which I feel that puts us in really good hands for this movie. Which gets my anticipation of this movie more excited. I usually try to go low expectations for movies so you're not too disappointed. But this
Yeah.
does bring my expectations up, so I'm kind of excited to see what happens in this. But hopefully Russo brothers don't let you down. We get some good stuff. It's gonna be hard for Marvel to top what they've done from the 10 years of movies that they did, to the moments we had, the way we developed characters, the way we lived through those characters, moments with those characters, surprises, like one huge surprise is in Civil War. Spoiler if you haven't seen this movie, which you should go see it. I know there's still people watching them. Civil War, when we see Ant-Man become big that first time, it's amazing. It's amazing. And also in that movie, you get to see Spider-Man for the first time, which I screamed in the theaters. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's in the MCU. It was great, great moment. But these moments are hard to recapture, especially where we've already gone through kind of the first generation of superheroes in the MCU. We've kind of put them on a back burner and we're trying to work up the second generation of superheroes and trying to build them up. they haven't did a great job building this second generation of superheroes up. So that's why they're kind of going back to the first ones and bringing them up, just like Star Wars did when they try to bring back their first trilogy superheroes into this new Star Wars and trying to pass the baton. They didn't do a great job. So hopefully Marvel can do a better job. Even though they've already dropped the baton a couple times. But yeah, I am interested to see what they do with this movie now. I'm super excited. But our first real test is going to be the new Captain America 4, which is coming out in February. Fingers crossed it really does good, but I told you last week that tracking numbers for tickets have been coming up online and they can kind of get an estimate of what it's going to open at. And unfortunately, it looked good at first, but now it's starting to look bad. So this might be another flop for them, unfortunately. But I'm still going to see it, and we'll probably review it and tell you guys what we thought about it, or at least what I thought about it. Hell, we might even get Marcus to go with me, and we can talk about it both. But we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be the first test if the MCU is back on track, and what they're going to do. They decided to not do so many movies a year. They scaled back on the movies and the shows. Hopefully that's good. Maybe they got oversaturated. Maybe they cut back. They can work on these things a little better, put out a better quality content, better quality movie, better content for us to enjoy, and get back in our good graces and get our money again. That's what they're really after. But they are telling good stories too. I can't lie.
Yeah. All right, I got a question. What's the
Go
difference
ahead.
between a Hulk being green and the Hulk and this new one is going to be red?
So that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
I'm not
all right.
100% sure. I know. So in comics, She-Hulk is from Hawk because he got a blood transfusion to his cousin that gave her the ability to be She-Hulk, but she had more control over it. Um, well, she was just She-Hulk all the time. She couldn't transform back and forth, I don't think, in the comic books.
Mhm.
She became
Okay.
She-Hulk and she still was able to use her intelligence and all that. The Red Hawk is actually um Bruce's in the comic books, I believe it was Bruce's wife's dad who became the Red Hawk. Um and it's just a different form of gamma energy that turns him into the Red Hawk. I believe I
Mhm.
could be 100% wrong,
Okay.
and people will tell me in the comments. Because there's She-Hulk, there's regular Hawk, there's Red Hawk, and then there's Gray Hawk.
There's a
Um,
gray
I,
one. Oh,
yeah, there's a Gray Hulk. I say Hulk wrong. I always say Hawk like Hawkeye, and instead of pronouncing the L, Hulk. So there's a Gray Hulk, which the Gray Hulk is still the Green Hulk, but he's smarter. He's
okay.
able to hold on to more of his intelligence, just like the Hulk in the MCU when he combined the brains and the brawn and was able to talk normally. That's supposed to be the Gray Hulk. He can still use his brain, and he's like a gangster too. It's weird.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. He becomes like a gangster, and he's like running the underworld or something. At least
Oh,
in one of the comic books I read and one of the TV shows I watched. So
okay.
there. I think there's like two more Hulks. There's like a Hulk has a son too. So there's I forget what they call him. It's like a Son Hulk or something like that. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of different Hulks out there. Some of it, I think, is his blood. People find his blood and experiment and turns himself into a different version of Hulk. And sometimes it's like a different gamma radiation or something. Um, but this one, I don't know. I think it's somebody. So in the I wonder if that's gonna be. So in the She-Hulk show, there were these bad guys that tried to get She-Hulk's blood, and they did. And in the show, a guy became a different kind of Hulk, or transferred into a Hulk, and then it became fake in the show. I can't remember how the She-Hulk show ended, but it was really crazy interesting. That
Mhm.
could be part of what's going to happen in the Captain American 4 movie. And the only reason Hulk is in it because they can't do a solo Hulk movie. Marvel doesn't own the rights to Hulk to do a solo movie. He has to be in the movie with other people for them to be able to use it because he's
Oh,
still owned by like some other company. It's really weird. Some real technicality where they can have him in movies, but they can't do a solo movie for him. It's real weird. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting though, and we're gonna tell you more when we learn why he's red. Hopefully,
Yeah, because I see it first all the time. I'm like, why he red? I'm like, what? I don't. Okay, I'm like, I'll just ask Sammy, because like I don't know what's going on, man.
yeah, understandable, understandable.
Yeah. All right. So, the college football, Ohio State is the college football champions.
Oh, did they
They
win?
they
Okay,
won 34-23.
okay.
Uh, which is, again, I'm not a fan, but I I believe this win saves the coach's job at Ohio State, Ryan Day. And the reason why I say that is because Ohio State and Michigan are huge rivals, huge. And the last two seasons, Ryan Day has lost to Michigan. So he lost to Michigan again this year, and after the game, it ended up being a huge scuffle between the two teams to the point where police officers brought out mace to separate the two teams apart.
Oh wow.
So yes, it was been the second year in a row he lost to Michigan, but now that he won a national championship, I believe his job is officially safe at
For
Ohio
at least
State
a
now.
year? Do you think how long do you think? At least maybe 2 years?
Uh, at least I've like if he wins this now and then if he beats Michigan next year, I think he'll be good for a long while because with the way
Okay.
college sports is right now, it's not like the old days where you can necessarily build a program with kids and have them for like 3 or 4 years because of all the
Yeah,
NIL deals. Like these college kids can make money, which I'm happy. I love
exactly.
that where
Yeah.
college sports is went. There's a lot of people that don't like it, can't stand it, but I'm like, these schools makes millions off these kids' names.
Millions.
So,
Like I hate when people like,
jerseys,
oh, they give them an
television.
education. Yeah, but that education is worth like literally 400,000, and they get
Yeah,
2-3 million off these kids. So
right,
it's not a
right.
good balance.
And, and let's keep it 100. I I would say a majority of these kids are there to play sports. They're not. They
Mm-hmm.
go to class because they have to in order to play the
Exactly.
sport. They're
They
not there for that. Like,
they not getting a
especially
degree in something they gonna actually use in the real world. Some of them be going
right,
to like TV entertainment classes just to get to call it classes. So let's be
right,
realistic. I'm
right.
not saying
Especially like,
all of them. I'm not saying all of
uh,
them because there are some
no,
smart sport athletes out there. I'm not saying all of
yes,
them.
yes. Some of these kids, like I would say, 90% of the kids probably will get a degree in something else. A small percentage of them will actually go play professional. But the kids that's there, that stars of the team, we know why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to make it to the next level. And
Very
we
true.
know who those players are. So, but yes,
Very
I
true.
digress. So now that college football season is over, let's get into some NFL playoffs that happened this past
Yes.
weekend. Um, the first game of the weekend was the Houston Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, I didn't. I was not able to watch this game. I was busy running around, but apparently, and it seems to be a thing. But
Yeah,
I'm just going off a second here. Apparently, there was some helps from the referees for Kansas City in this game. I didn't watch it, so I can't call it. But
I
I will say early in the season there has been some terrible calls that went Kansas City way. So
yeah,
I
and I
don't.
think that was just the luck of the draw. Honestly, uh, is a luck of the draw. Like if people would just other teams could just beat Kansas City easily, just doing what they need to do. They just not
Yeah,
outscoring them because Kansas City ain't killing. They ain't playing
no,
amazing football. They just
no.
get lucky. They've been getting
Yeah,
lucky.
I would say this Kansas City Chiefs team has probably been the worst team they've had in the last 3 years. They've had
Yeah,
a lot of injuries,
a
and
lot.
they're not playing like you said. They're not really blowing people out and like beating them bad like they used to. So a lot, and a lot of people don't like Kansas City because the whole Taylor Swift thing and
Yeah.
whatnot.
And
So
they think the NFL is doing this because Taylor Swift's at the game, so it boosts
right,
their
right,
revenue. Like, I don't think
yeah,
it's that. I don't. I mean, the refs are humans. They can miss calls, make calls wrong.
mhm,
Every play, if you look at it, there's a hold, there's a hands in the face. It's just really
yeah,
when you're gonna call it, not if it actually happens, and does it
right,
affect the play. They do it every play. It's
yeah,
realistically you can't call it every down. There's not a clean play ever gone. Um, I did see some of the calls, and yeah,
mm,
they were questionable. But if you go by the way the book articulates it, it was the right call.
yeah,
You can see what they were trying to do.
mhm,
Texas should have just Texas just wasn't on their game. They didn't play as good as they normally do. From what I saw, from a few snaps I saw from Texas, they messed up here and there. Like that first, there's a first play of the kickoff where the dude got a penalty because he threw his helmet in the middle of the
mhm,
play, like because he got so excited. He got so
yeah,
excited that he created a fumble. He thought they got the ball back. He threw his helmet off while still on the field, which gave them a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
yeah,
And it was like, my dude, you got to keep your composure, even if you're excited. Of course, people thought he was upset at the special teams
special
coach
teams,
because he went over there and pushed them, but he was pushing
yeah,
them out of excitement, like, look what I did. Yeah, we getting it.
yeah,
And it came back, he had to tell him, like, no, we didn't get the ball. What are you doing? You just cost us a penalty. Uh,
yeah,
so that dude was embarrassed. I
and
seen people on TikTok talk about he should be fired. I need to fire him immediately. I was like,
that's not
eh,
bad.
that's not why they lost. It
Yeah,
didn't help, but that's not why they lost.
yeah. And now I'm looking at the stats. And I see Mahomes was only 16 for 25
Yeah.
for 177 yards and one touchdown. And then Kareem Hunt had one touchdown. So
Yeah.
yeah.
They did not play good. The Texas, I think, missed 2 field goals,
Oh,
which does not help you.
yeah,
Um
that's 20 because they lost 14 to
Stroud,
23.
I think he got hurt for a little bit, but then came back
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Um
See, he
yeah,
had two. He was 19 for 28 for 245 yards. And
yeah,
Joe Mixon rushed the ball 18 times for 88 yards and one touchdown. So, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Well, and then the next game on Saturday was Detroit and Washington. Wait, is that yes? Detroit
Yeah,
or
Detroit
Washington?
and Washington Commanders.
Oh man, again, yeah, I didn't watch this game either.
I
I
didn't.
was
I
too
didn't watch
busy.
it. I watched a little bit of it on TikTok
Yeah.
here and there until TikTok went out. Um,
Uh, I gotta say this was the upset of the weekend. I think a
yes,
lot of people had Detroit winning this game since they were playing at home.
Yeah,
Commanders came in Detroit, beat them 45-31. Um, Detroit had a lot of turnovers.
they did. Like I was at one point, I was watching, they were ahead, and then the TikTok I was watching, it got shut down because you can't put sports stuff on there or put all the ads and stuff like that. So then I was like,
Yeah,
all right, I'll come back to it. When I came back to it, they was down. I was like, what happened?
yeah. Well, Jared Goff was 24 for 30. He had 313 passing yards, which is good, but and he threw for one touchdown, but he threw three interceptions.
uh,
And you just can't do that in the playoffs.
can't turn the ball over that
You
much.
can't do that. And then the rookie, Jay Daniels for the Washington Commanders, was 22 for 31 with 299 passing yards and two touchdowns. So I will say Jay Daniels is going to be the rookie of the year. He is playing great football.
Yeah.
He's very poised. Uh, and it seems like he's just always in control of the
Yep.
game and the team. And I'm not gonna lie, I do not like watching Washington Commanders play football because it makes me jealous. Because they have a young quarterback who's good
Who's
and they
good?
have a good team, and I'm not gonna go into all that because then it's just gonna get depressing.
Yeah,
But
he
yes,
did play good. He does look like he's always calm. I'm always worried about him because he's so skinny. He's so skinny, and they hit
yeah.
him, and that ain't gonna hurt that man. But he doing his thing. He playing at a good level. Washington is. I think they're gonna be good for a couple years now because of him.
Also, uh, one thing about Detroit, Internet saying the reason why Detroit lost is because they had Jello performing at halftime his new song, and that's why they lost. And that was like, and then I also saw that like he didn't know the words to his own song that just came out. Like
Chris,
that's
he's
bad.
probably he
That
didn't write that
that's bad.
song.
That's bad. But yeah, I don't. They should have had like Eminem or Big Sean, even T Grizzly. They should have had somebody from Detroit because I feel like that. You got
Yeah,
somebody from Detroit performing at halftime. Then the players to get more hype. I mean, granted, you should be hyped. It's a playoff game, but you just get more hype when it's somebody from Detroit performing versus you got Jello, like a failed basketball player. His two brothers in the league. He never what he tried to make it in the NBA with his brothers, but he just hasn't been good enough.
I
Uh,
think they was trying to save like Eminem or somebody bigger for like the championship game. I think
nah,
that's
man,
what they was doing.
you got to get there. So
True, but
you,
as the way Lions been playing this year, people just assumed they was gonna get there. Just like Minnesota, we assumed they would get past who they was playing, and they
exactly,
got beat bad.
you can't make those assumptions. You
True,
got to get there first, my guy.
true,
But
very true.
also, and speaking on Commanders, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Magic Johnson, he's like he works in. I don't know his actual position for the Commanders right now, off the top of my head, but he works with the Commanders,
Okay,
and if the Commanders go and win the Super Bowl, Magic Johnson, his resume will be insane because he would have won on every level. Great, this man has won high school, college basketball. He won a national championship at Michigan State.
mm-hmm.
I think his freshman year. I I think it was his freshman year, and then like either his rookie or sophomore year in the NBA, won an
Mm-hmm.
NBA championship. Okay, and then you think about all his business ventures like LA, and then he did or does something with the Dodgers as well, and they just won the World Series not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's helping out with the Washington Commanders, and if they win the Super Bowl, goodness gracious, Magic is a winner.
Yeah,
He is a
yeah.
winner. He wins it wherever he goes. So shout out to Magic Johnson. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay, Magic. Okay, Magic.
Okay. And then yesterday we had the Philadelphia Eagles versus the St. Louis, not St. Louis, but the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams. Yep.
Um, it was snowing out there, made the conditions, made the ball slippery,
Yep.
made the field slippery. Matthew Stafford was 26 for 44, passing for 324 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts was 15 for 20 for 128 yards. Not eye popping stats, but this is why they got Saquon Barkley, who
Mm-hmm.
rushed the ball 26 times for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then, like early in the game, Jalen Hurts had it was either a 40 or 60-yard rushing TD himself. And then
Okay.
Jalen Hurts got folded up towards the end of the game, so
Yeah.
got to keep an eye on him, see if he'll be
Yeah.
how he's going to be this weekend.
Yeah. I watched that game. It was a good game. It was a good
Yeah,
game. The
yeah,
Rams just had turnovers. They just fumbled the ball multiple times. Matthew Stafford got ripped. Their running back fumbled the ball. Eagles just made plays and was able to run. Like at first, um, the Rams kind of stopped Saquon from running, and then he figured it out again and broke him for a touchdown run. And it was like, yeah, y'all can't stop him on the ground. We can't really throw because the snow was crazy. It was heavy snow. Like it was
hmm
light at first and then it got heavy. So like it made it real hard to throw. And you got Stafford because he's a comeback guy. He comes back in a lot of games. He was close to coming back. Um, but they pulled it out. Eagles pulled it out. Yeah, Hurts, he got hurt, so we have to see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah.
You definitely could tell he got hurt. There was a play after he got hurt, and then they defense came out and stopped him, and then he went back in, and on the first play they tried to do a passing play with him, and it was like, what is y'all doing? Y'all know he hurt. Let him hand the
Yeah,
ball off the first play. And first
right.
play he rolled out and got sacked. It was like, what is y'all doing? Y'all know he hurt. Y'all seeing the same thing I see. Let that man run that ball that first play. Give it to Saquon. Uh, but they pulled it out. So it's gonna be interesting to see
Yeah.
because the
And
other
then
backup quarterback is hurt too, isn't he?
I don't even know who the backup quarterback is, to be
Because
perfectly
when
honest.
Hurts got hurt, they had him come in, but I think he like hurt broke two ribs or something in the last two games and in the last game and had to he's on injured reserve now. So they would have to go to a third string quarterback.
Who is it?
Which speaking of third string quarterback, didn't Teddy Bridgewater come in?
Oh yes, for he came in for a drive for Detroit, and they ended up scoring on that possession.
Okay.
Cause yeah, because I looked up, I'm like, Teddy Bridgewater, what are you doing in the game? Like this, I love about Teddy Bridgewater. He's coaching high school football team.
Yep.
His high school team won the state championship, and
Yep.
then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go play for go play with the Lions for a little bit, and then he played in a playoff game, and then he's gonna go back to coaching.
Yep.
When he played, he was good. He's had like some injuries, like
Yeah.
I like some knee injuries, so think that's why he left playing professional football. But yeah, it was nice to see Teddy Bridgewater out there.
Yeah, I seen an interview with him. He said, yeah, the kids wanted me to go back and see if I could do it. So I'm gonna go back and play, and then we're gonna come back this summer and get ready to defend our championship. So like he really like coaching. So hey, do your thing. I understand. I like coaching too. Do your thing, my guy. But he
Yeah,
was like, I got to show these kids I can still do it. So he came out and did it. Fortunately, he couldn't get the W for the Lions, but he came out and helped out a little bit and did his best. So hey, can't ask for more. But
Right.
as you were saying, what
Oh,
left in the football realm?
okay. And then the final game of this past weekend, which I thought was the going to be the game of the weekend, and it lived up to the hype,
It did.
was the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo
Yep.
won 27-25. Uh, Baltimore had a chance to tie the game on a 2-point conversion at the end of it.
Hmm.
Lamar Jackson threw a pass to their tight end, Mark Andrews, who usually he's good. He's like a security blanket for Lamar.
Yeah.
They played with each other for a long time. Just like you mentioned, Gershon, in the last game, the weather played a part in this game. It
Yep.
started out light, then started snowing hard. Um, what weather conditions made the game difficult, made the ball
Hmm.
slippery and the field slippery. So Mark Andrews was running backwards into the end zone, and all he had to do was catch the ball and fall down, basically.
He didn't even
And
have to
because he
fall
was
down. He could just caught the ball and kept running out. He,
because he was right there. Like he
yeah,
caught the ball, fell on his butt. He's in the end zone. He caught the ball, he had it, but as he was falling down to the ground, he dropped the ball right there,
yeah,
and that killed Baltimore's chances of to tying up the game at the end of the game to try to play in overtime for the
yeah.
win. Um, Also, earlier in the game, Mark Andrews had a fumble. He caught the ball,
Costly
like juked,
fumble.
juked the player, and then he got the ball punched out of his hands for a fumble.
Yeah,
Um, Lamar Jackson was 18 for 25 with 254 yards passing, two touchdowns, and he threw an interception. Josh Allen, again, like I said, the weather played a big part because Josh Allen was 16 for 22 passing with only 127 yards. Um, Derrick Henry had 84 yards rushing with one touchdown on 16 carries. Um, it was a good game. It lived up to the hype. I
it
said
was a real good game. I watched it. It
on
was a real
on
good
our
game.
last episode, I thought whoever win this game will win the MVP. So I think Josh Allen will win the MVP. We shall see. But yeah, it was a good game. I really wanted Baltimore to win
Yeah,
because
I was rooting for Lamar.
because I'm a fan. But let me tell you what Josh Allen took away from us. If Baltimore would have won, right,
Uh huh.
we would have had four black quarterbacks
Oh
and
yeah.
championship games. We would
Oh
have had four
yeah.
games. We would have had uh, Jalen Hurts versus
Yeah.
Jay Daniels. They would have Mahomes versus Lamar. But
Yeah.
Josh Allen said, nah, that's not what we doing. Watch out.
But
I need to get
so the weird thing is, not to cut you off, the weird thing is they don't talk about Josh Allen the way they do black running quarterbacks. Because I noticed Josh Allen does a
oh,
lot of
sure.
running. He
Yes, he
does a
does.
lot of running. Like he
You know
makes a
why.
lot of plays with his legs, and they don't talk about him the same way they talk about Lamar or the way they used to talk about Mahomes. They don't talk about Mahomes that way anymore either.
Right?
Um, but they don't talk about Daniels that way either. Um, they don't talk about Hurts that way either. Now that I think about it, I ain't heard them talk about him like that. They talk about him being a threat, but they don't talk about him only being a running quarterback. Like so,
Yeah,
it's very interesting and when they pick and choose to talk about black quarterbacks like that, and they don't
yeah,
talk about white quarterbacks that are mobile too. Um,
yes.
it's very weird. But yeah, I watched that game and it really came down to Baltimore turnovers. They
Hmm.
had three turnovers. The first turnover, that interception, that didn't hurt them.
Yep.
They
That was
stopped the Bills. Bills didn't score. That second fumble that Lamar had, or the first fumble Lamar had, they scored three on that one, so that hurt him. And then that other fumble Adams had, that hurt him a lot because they was moving down the field. They had Henry running good, Lamar was passing good, um, but they also had a lot of drops too on both sides of the ball. A lot of Josh's guys was dropping balls, and Lamar's guy Andrew again dropped a pass that would have got them a first down, which led to Lamar fumbling the next play, which sucks. So it's a lot of different factors. I know those two guys are like hurting themselves right now. They're beating themselves down. They still played a good game.
Especially Mark
Um,
Andrews. He
yeah,
got
I
sick
know
right now.
he. Oh, I could only imagine how he feel and the death threats he's probably getting.
Which is
Um,
unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
I see some sports talk show. This guy was on there. He was like, "God damn it, not again, Baltimore." He's like, "I don't care what Lamar does in the regular season. He's always a first out on the playoffs." And I was like, "Damn, that
Yeah.
that, that hurts." But yeah, that regular season don't mean squat if you out in the first two playoff games. It don't mean nothing. It don't
Mm-hmm.
mean nothing. But then again, he's like, do you rather your team make it to the Super Bowl and lose the Super Bowl, or do you rather them lose earlier? It's a
Super
catch twenty
Bowl.
two. I
Super
would think
Bowl because
Super
like
Bowl.
Super Bowl because you got there.
True,
You got
true,
there.
true.
Or before it's like it because I mean the goal is to always to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But if you like make it there and lose versus not getting there at all is two completely different things. So
yeah. True, 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 true.
yeah,
But yeah, some good football games this
yeah.
last Sunday, Saturday. We got two more football games before we get the Super Bowl. We definitely
Yep.
bring that back to you guys, let you know about that.
I'm just gonna let you guys know that this Sunday, Washington Commanders plays Philadelphia Eagles at 2 o'clock. And then the game of the weekend, Buffalo Bills plays Kansas City
Isn't
Chiefs.
that a rematch game?
Yes, from a few years ago. Here's the thing: there's only been one quarterback that's had success against Mahomes, and that's Joe Burrow for the
Okay,
Cincinnati Bengals.
okay.
Like Josh Allen has not beat Patrick in the playoffs. Lamar has not beat Mahomes in the playoffs. So the game of this weekend is Buffalo versus Kansas City. I think this is going to be Josh Allen's best chance to beat Mahomes right now than he's ever had because the Chiefs are banged up. They're not that good, so
Uh huh.
we'll see what happens. Um, I'm not rooting. I know I don't have a team I really rooting for in any of these games. I'll just see what happens, and I'm just waiting to see Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl and play that instrumental of "Not Like Us." That's what I'm
So
looking for.
I'm gonna root for Mahomes, and I don't want Philly to lose, but I would like to see that young quarterback make it to the Super Bowl his rookie year. I
Yeah,
think that would be amazing to see that him take that team that nobody had on their radar all the way to the Super Bowl. I think that would be amazing. A great story. Um, so I don't know them personally, but a couple dudes I listen to on a different podcast is Philly fans,
yeah.
and I I want their team to win because they cool people, but I would like to see the story of this rookie quarterback making to the Super Bowl, taking a team nobody expected him to be able to take to the Super Bowl. I think that would be
Al-
a cool story.
Also, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are playing for a three-peat, which is never happening.
That's true. They
It's
can
never
make
happened in
history.
football. Yep, never happened in football.
They
So
can make history, so that's cool too. Um, it's crazy. Side note, you said something about Joe Burrow. I can't pronounce his name all that great, but I heard he might have had the better
oh,
QB.
if Joe Burrow, so their defense, Cincinnati Bengals defense, were ass. They could not catch a cold. They could not stop a baby from us in the grape in the fruit fight. They were terrible.
Okay.
Joe Burrow had an MVP type season. He was
Okay.
balling. He was balling. He was putting up numbers on our offensive end, but the defense was trash. They couldn't stop anybody.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Joe Burrow's the only one who's had success against Patrick Mahomes. But
Gotcha.
unfortunately, like football is the ultimate team game. So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
he only can do so much. He only plays one side of the ball.
I know I heard somebody say he should be MVP, but
That's
he
a legit
won't
argument.
get it just because of his team being who they are and the record they
Yep.
have.
Yep. The
Um,
record they had, they didn't make the playoffs, but they was in every game. Like they they almost beat Kansas City early in the year.
okay.
I want to say, did they play Baltimore? I think they played Baltimore, and they either I think they almost beat them too, or they
Okay.
did beat them, but in a close scoring game. Yeah, Joe Burrow was bald, man. Joe Burrow
Okay.
bald.
Okay.
Team, the defense was just terrible.
Okay. So before we go, we're gonna do one more quick story. TikTok. As you know, there's a ban on TikTok. January 19th, it was supposed to go into effect, and ultimately it did. Like in the wee hours of the 18th, going into the 19th, people started to report getting TikTok not being able to log on, not being able to look at videos. My stuff just stopped. I ain't gonna lie, it stopped, and we thought it was banned. We thought it was done. TikTok was dead. People um uninstalled the app. People logged out of their stuff. People before did told secrets about how their influencers told secrets how they weren't using the products they were talking about, how they weren't doing the workouts they were talking about,
Oh
all this crazy
no!
stuff. Doing face
Oh,
reveal, yes, doing face
mm,
reveals. So like influencers that hid their face the whole time did face reveals, all this kind of crazy stuff. Some people made like deep touching, I'll miss you, thank you for supporting me, thank you for being here, love this community, some good stuff. So all
mm.
19th TikTok wasn't working, and then for 15 hours TikTok wasn't working, and bam, TikTok was back online, and you could watch videos, you could post videos, everything was back up. So within that controversy of it getting kicked off, there was this notification that came up when it came back on saying that Trump is helping us get back on. He's extending the deadline, from TikTok that posted on everybody's stuff. To everybody saw that how we're being disconnected, but Trump is working to expand the time so we can try to figure out how to save TikTok and all this. And then all these conspiracy theories came out because slowly they start seeing Facebook made a TikTok, and like I think threads and other stuff. So people were like, is TikTok being bought? What's going on? Is the Facebook dude, I forget his name, Mark
Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg was doing something, and then they were like Elon is doing something, and then they was like Bezos doing something. So amidst that, people were getting back on TikTok, and not only did people, the influencers had to answer to why they were lying about the things they were lying about, and the people that revealed their faces had to lie about. So there was a whole bunch of TikTok like we're back, and then there was TikTok from those influencers was like, hey, I guess we're not gone. So how about we forget that last video, little stuff like that. On top of that, other countries, I guess when we left, America left, other countries was talking about us like, hey, now that America's gone, we're gonna steal their stuff and act like it's ours and do this stuff. Or aren't we glad those Americans are gone? All this crazy stuff. This all happened within 15 hours of the app being down from America. That's crazy. But TikTok is back up, still going right now. I'm not sure why it's still going or what's allowing it to still go. But if you deleted your TikTok or deleted the off your phone. You can't download it from the App Store. I'm hearing.
Hmm.
So something's still happening. So now people are chasing through the metadata, trying to see what they changed, what they adjusted. I'm hearing that the creator program for TikTok, people aren't able to get paid out like they used to. There's been some changes. There's a scroll button, an auto scroll button for certain people on their TikTok. So there's been some changes. There's been some stuff going on. There's been some wild stuff. There's still going to be some stuff people are going to figure out. Where when we hear it, you will hear it, I guess. We'll keep you updated on this crazy stuff, what's going on with TikTok. But find us at TikTok, Sports and Superheroes. We still up there. We posted. Oh,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. So I saw the comments about people from other countries, and some I ain't gonna lie, some of the comments was funny. I don't have TikTok, so I didn't take any offense of any of these comments. I thought it was funny. And someone was like, I didn't realize how loud they were. Was one of the comments. The other one was, no one is hating in the comments, and then this one girl, oh my god, this one video I saw, this one woman was on the TikTok. She's like, "Oh, now I can eat my beans and toast in peace." So then, when TikTok came back to America, dude posted this video, responded to it, like, "You thought we was gone? We back." He said, "I'm finna roast everybody. I better not catch nobody on this app eating beans and toast. I'm gonna be all up in the comments, loud as all ever."
Yeah, it
But
was going in. It was going in.
also, I find it funny. I didn't know that about the influencer telling the truth about how they don't use these products
Yeah,
and how they're just getting paid to promote it.
yeah.
But also, so you remember what we said at the top of the show about Ocho Cinco and Club Shay Shay
Uh
creating
huh.
controversy? So this people may agree, people may not agree with what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. So what happened, like when Trump went in office the first time, I don't remember, but he was the one who spearheaded this
Yep.
ban for TikTok a long time ago
Yep.
because TikTok is not an American company; it's from China, so
Mm-hmm.
America cannot say what can and what can be posted on TikTok. So,
Mm-hmm.
what happened is like Trump was going to have a rally, right?
Yep.
This is
And
what
they was
made Trump
messing with
mad,
him.
right? And they was messing with him. A bunch of teenage kids were like, "Hey, buy these tickets, make it look like it's gonna be filled up." So then he had the rally, no one showed up. So then he got mad and he was like, "Yeah, we need to buy a TikTok." So that was one of the reasons. Two, like I said, it's not an American company, it's a Chinese company.
Mm-hmm.
So America cannot dictate or what we see and what the information we get, yada yada yada. Three, TikTok has a very good what's the word I'm looking for? Um, they at engine search they can track what you're doing and what videos you're looking
Yeah.
at, whatever.
Yeah.
So America wants that, you know,
Algorithm to really
the algorithm.
see what you're
That's it,
doing. Yeah.
right? That's yeah. So America wants that, and then so more or less what happened is America wants to be able to own part of TikTok so they can get that algorithm and also censor some of the stuff that we see on there. Because as much as we
Mm-hmm.
say as Americans, freedom of speech, we say whatever, they still want to be able to control of what we see. They don't want us to have all the real information.
Very true.
And then now circling back to the top of the show about the controversy, and don't you think is I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but look at the timeline. So
Yeah.
Trump wanted to ban. Trump is so it's getting close to him. He wins the election. He's just got inaugurated today. TikTok ban was for the 19th. His inauguration was today. On the yesterday when TikTok came back, and the TikTok's little post, it says, "We want to thank President Trump
Yeah.
for helping us it what is it? It says, um, "We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned."
Yeah.
Trump wasn't even in office yet on Sunday. Even he just got inaugurated today.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I feel like they created controversy, got the app banned, got it shut down for 15 hours, bring it back up. Trump can take credit for it. So, he can get more likability. So the
Yeah.
young people want to say, oh, look what it's more like, look what Trump did for us. It's the same thing that goes back to COVID with the stimulus checks.
Yep. Very
There's a
much
lot
so.
of people. There's a lot of people in this country think that we got those stimulus checks because of Trump. When
Yeah.
that's not actually how it worked. The
Not at
government
all.
gave us the checks. Trump actually delayed the checks for us because he's wanting the signature on all these checks. And
Yep.
then it's like, oh, look, Trump gave us his money, which is why some black and brown people voted for Trump this past election because they're like, oh, when Trump was in office, I was getting paid. They sent us a stimmy. He gave me a stimmy check. No, that's not how that worked.
Not at
He
all.
he had
It,
he had nothing to do with that.
nothing.
But
But it was
but
smart of
because
him to put his name on there.
right. So I feel like that's what happened with this TikTok ban. You brought it back. He one was the one who wanted to get banned in the first place. Got shut down for 15 hours, back on, thanks Trump, and now he looks likable, like he really did something. So
Yeah. So during he is the one that wanted it banned at first, and he was the one pushing for it. During his election, he started to see the benefits of TikTok and how it actually helped him get his name out more, reached out to a lot of young voters. So then he was like, I'm all for TikTok. Yay, TikTok. And then he started running a platform and making sure he saved TikTok. Um, it is crazy that he's going to get a lot of the positive feedback for possibly saving TikTok. If TikTok is saved, I still think it's gonna get banned. It still probably most likely will get banned. But this is not something America isn't used to because China does it the same way. When there's apps from other countries in China, they make you sell it to a Chinese company, or at least 50% of it has to be sold to a Chinese company by a certain time. And then China steals that app and and makes another app just like it to push that app out. So they're only doing the same thing China's doing with foreign apps. That's all they're doing. It's just that in America, when we do it, it feels like we're going against freedom of speech and freedom of enterprise and all that good stuff. And the stuff that we've been told, oh, you're in America, you have any chance to be successful. And now you tell us, no, you don't have a chance to be successful unless you're an American. You can't be from
mhm.
another country and be successful or do something here. This whole it's for national security. We give our data to everybody. Let's be
Yep,
honest. Our
yep.
data goes to any and everybody. That's why if y'all was so worried about national security, why y'all ain't shut this Red Note app down? Well, it is Mandarin. You
Right.
got people learning Mandarin to be on this app.
What again? That's not an American app. Because yes, when the whole thing leaked all last week leading up to it, everybody was hopping on Red Note, and
Yep.
everything's in a whole different language. You don't even know, can't you read nothing that's going on now. They
Nothing
own
at
them,
all.
hosting, and I'm like, whatever, y'all do what y'all gotta do.
They was doing it like
But
crazy. It's
but
like
but
you're not really
what
worried about data. I mean, the data they gonna get from a normal America is not really gonna help them kill us or beat us in a war or something. Let's be honest.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. iPhones and Android phones are not made in America
Hundred
anyway.
percent.
So what are we talking about? So
You don't know what kind of stuff they put in that phone to be able to track what we're doing. So let's be
it,
realistic.
I mean, how many times have you thought of something and you start typing it into Google and it just pops up right away? or you Google something, you at home, you Google something on your phone, and then what you Google, a product you Google pops up on your spouse's phone because you're on the same Wi-Fi. I mean, so
Very true. Very true.
yeah,
But guys, we have kept y'all long enough. Thank y'all for listening. We went kind of long on this one, but we had a lot of stuff to talk about. And we appreciate y'all listening, hanging out with us, and definitely appreciate y'all feedback in the comments, letting us know what you like, what you didn't like, have fun, all that good stuff. Let us know how you felt about TikTok being banned for 15 hours. Let us know how you about the NFL playoffs. Let us know what you think about the new Peacemaker theme song that will be coming out. You know, you can find us. All our social medias are in the description down below. Follow, like, post, reshare, all that good stuff. Rate us on Spotify. That helps us get to new viewers and more people can hear us. But appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us. Until next time, peace.
peace.